Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Gear Talk, and this time I'm going to talk to you about the 100mm Pentax M beautiful lens f4. Before we begin, as usual, if you want to support the channel, please put a like, subscribe, share with your friends. If you want to go a step further, check out my books. There's Lasting Photographs, novel with very good reviews, photography, Dave manual, everything you need to know about photography, and Inject Fine Art Printing. This sale, let's talk about this beautiful lens. The Pentax 100mm f4 Macro M is an old lens, an M series, so without the aperture contacts and just a manual lens for the M series. Great thing about Pentax, you can use all the lenses also on the modern cameras. To test this lens and try it out, I use different cameras. I use film. I use the MZS with the Ferragna P30 film that I test, and you can check here in the link the video if you're curious about that film that I really appreciated. And I tested it also with digital cameras. One was the Pentax KF, so a beautifC APS-C format camera that I test, and the other one is this Pentax K1 Mark II that I have right now from the Italian importer of Pentax Fowa to test, and it's a fantastic camera. I did a preview of the test, just the first impression, and I will do a full test, and I already say here I really like this camera. But back to the 100mm. I got it from eBay. It was for spare parts because the aperture was not working properly. Basically it was just kind of dirt inside. There was some oil leaking, some grease leaking, so I opened it, I cleaned it up, and now it's working perfect. Here you can see a little slideshow of pictures that I took with film and with digital, and then I will talk a little bit more about the lens. As you can see, it's a beautiful lens. The results are really great. It's very sharp in all the field and so on. To really see all the capabilities of the lens, I did something more, and I took some pictures that you can see here, and different aperture starting from f4 and going up to the closest one, f32. And as you can see, the lens is incredibly sharp. And starting from f4, sharp in the center, little problems on the borders, nothing that is noticeable, especially usually when you are in a macro situation. You tend to have the main subject, kind of the focus and everything on the center, so it's not a huge deal. And I went on different apertures from 5.6 on. It's great. It starts to lose a little around 16, 30, 22 and 32. 16 is still a very good file. 32 is, you see a lot of diffraction, so it's losing a little bit the sharpness. But in the range 22, 5.6, 22 is absolutely an outstanding lens, and 4 is absolutely usable. I don't suggest to use as much at 32, but really, unless you really need a huge depth of field. But it's really, really great lens. By the way, the picture that you see were taken by the K1 Mark II, and I used the pixel shift resolution. I wanted to be sure that there was no artifacts created by the demosizing of the raw file. So I used the pixel shift resolution, and I elaborated the file with raw therapy. When we are talking about pixel shift, I'm learning a lot about that. And one thing that I learned is that the usual software they use are not really compatible with the pixel shift. They don't use all the potentiality of the pixel shift. So there are a couple of software. One is the one that is given with the Pentax. I don't like very much the interface on that. And the other one is raw therapy. Raw therapy, I'm starting to learn it, and it's absolutely fantastic. It lets you choose the algorithm for the demosizing of the raw file. So really, really great. And the pictures you've seen were developed with raw therapy and were all taken with the pixel shift resolution. So at the end of the game, you saw the pictures, and this lens is absolutely great. It's compact, and that's something that is really absolutely fantastic, because I really like compact lens when I go around. It's a very sturdy lens, well built, so very, very nice lens. The quality is fantastic, and you can find this lens for not a lot of money around, so that's another great bonus. I love when good lenses are also not that expensive. So this is absolutely a great lens. I suggest it to you if you like to do macro, or you like to do eventually very close portraits, this kind of subject. This is absolutely fantastic lens. By the way, I bought it to do some test to scan negative with the camera, so reproduce film negatives on the camera, and that is another great use for this lens. I have a scanner that is much better, and I'm a Nikon 848, so at the end of the game I did some tests just to see the difference, but I still prefer to scan my negatives with the Imacon scanner. So that's the thing, and why I don't use it for that. But it's absolutely a great lens, and for a general use it's wonderful. I use it to take some landscape that you saw in the slideshow, and also at a distance, infinity focus. It's absolutely a good lens. The best of this lens is expressed in macro, but there's no problem, especially if you stop down a little, there's no problem to take landscape and other subjects that are not in a macro situation. So at the end, thumbs up for this lens. I hope you appreciated the video. If you did, please thumbs up also for me, subscribe, share with your friends. And again, if you want to do a little more, check out my books, Enjoy Fine Art Printing, Photography Dev Manual, and the novel Lasting Photographs. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time with other lenses and other gears and other tools.